The Black Market Battle Pass has been out for a while now, and after the Civcast Battle Pass, which came along with the Stalcraft X overhaul, gear, or otherwise cool shit every 50 levels, the QBC as a final weapon, and a whole host of things like the movement update, overhaul of the map and all that shit, the Black Market Battle Pass has some pretty big shoes to fill. Does it manage it? Not really. I'll save my complaints for the end though. Let's get right into the tips so you can get back to it ASAP. For starters, make a buy tab. Don't get tilted, drop useless shit like claws, 4-balls and pretty much anything that is too large or too heavy for its selling value. All that shit, you know. When it comes to the most reliable, low-risk source of points farming, for bandits that's Dead City, and for stalkers it's the Graveyard. These areas are relatively small, with a high density of world events, and relative closeness to the bar. The Graveyard is like a full minute longer to get to, however, which kinda sucks if you ask me. Both of these places have a higher capsule drop rate than their previous equivalent, the Pit and the Forest, and are relatively safer than their next equivalent, Path of Pools and Polskoye, which while with a higher capsule drop rate, quests are definitely a lot more spread out, and there's a higher chance to come across PvP marauders. With the new update, even if you're part of a sub-faction, you no longer have to worry about your same faction enemies in the southern parts of the map. So farm away knowing that the high population density from your own side will keep you safe for the most part. If you farm up to 120 capsules in either of these places, you'll have 3 whole levels in your inventory. The amount of quests done probably accounting for 2 levels. That's 5 whole levels each 120 capsules. You could do 240 and get 10 levels, or just go insane and go for 400 capsules and get 10 levels right away. Keep in mind that this will be extremely boring, so bring a podcast or a video or a long fucking video essay or some shit. The next sources of farming are the Labyrinth and the Forge. I describe both as mid-level risk in the northern parts of the zone. The Forge is this huge map right at the middle which needs high side protection to enter, so pills, a suit, or you could travel the long route through your main PvP map. The Forge has a higher capsule drop rate, but quests are extremely spread out. It's also dangerous since people come here expecting PvP, so unless you're lucky and have no one taking quests alongside you and no people looking for PvP near you, it's usually not worth it. Labyrinth is also problematic for its own reasons. You can get capsules here, but this place is a lot more effective for straight up ruble farming. There's a shit ton of anomalous powder quests, from aiding scientists for a single wave, which is pretty fast, proto clusters, protecting the signal generator thing, with the odd NPC camp every now and then. You can get a shit ton of auction sellables and an even bigger shit ton of gamma fragments, which only take like 100 to weigh like 15 kilos. Each one can be sold for 900 rubles too. So what, are you going to ignore these for capsules? 90k each 100 fragments? Don't be wasteful bro, there's PvP here too, but it's more of an oddity, since this map is pretty fucked up geographically and there's a side for each faction. In the end, what I'm saying is that before you can get any meaningful capsule farming done, you probably have a small fortune of sellables. Try this place if you don't care about money and have a cold heart for picking up resources and anomalous dust and sellable proto artifacts. Also, you're gonna need a pretty high tier scientific suit if you want to last even 10 seconds here. The anomalous properties in this place are through the fucking roof. And then there's the evil, edgy farming option. The place where farming points is easiest, most rewarding, and most valuable in a time to capsule conversion rate. Stillwater, also known as Saton. This place, along with Limansk or Lyubesh, are the last remainders of Stalcraft's Old North. They're dangerous as fuck. You can kill dudes from your own faction and they can kill you. The NPC monolith zombies can fuck you up pretty easily, and mutants are at their toughest. All of this risk is then compensated by this being the hands down best map with the highest drop rates for sellable items, high tier artifacts, crafting resources, and of course, capsule points. After just 4 world quests, you can easily find yourself with 40 capsules already. That's a whole level for those of you at home. And if you do high risk shit, like more outposts, bases, and killing bloodsuckers, you could go in and out with 120 capsules in less than 10 minutes. Of course, keep in mind that unless you're some kind of pro with a pistol or you get lucky with the player density, chances are you'll die, which is why this is the dangerous evil option. Statistically speaking, you will die more often than not, so keep that in mind. Maybe form a capsule farming hyper death squad to keep you company. Oh, and there's also the typical shit. Weeklies, challenges... No challenges. Dailies, and the Explorer's bonus, which gives you 350 points. Yeah, Expo nerfed it fairly recently. I'm not the type to complain about shit like this usually, but this change just fucking baffles me in how exactly this is anything other than a desperate attempt at getting more people to buy levels. The Season Pass has 500 fucking levels and you have like what, 90 days to complete it or something like that? The Explorer's bonus brought flexibility to just how you tackle this shit. Not to mention that this iteration of the Battle Pass has less shit than the previous one, in terms of content and in terms of number of items that you get. They say that it's because the last Battle Pass was supposed to be a celebration of 10 years of Stalcraft, and I might be inclined to believe them, but nerfing the Explorer's bonus from a neat 500 points to 350 points, on that I call fucking bullshit. Plus the Season Pass screen looks ugly as fuck. Put a drawing or something behind this dude, please. Time for a quick gacha roll to cool my nerves. Why would anyone want to do this shit in the first place? Alright, there's the customer skin, which makes you look like a Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies terrorist, a shovel that is statistically worse than a lot of things, but it's a cool shovel, a 10mm pistol along with a lore-relevant skin for those so inclined, the Phantom Hunter armor along with a skin, which, while not all that powerful, is still pretty badass and worth having on the looks alone, the SMG nut along with a skin from last year's Christmas event, and lastly, you have the last prize, the crowning jewel of the Black Market Battle Pass, the OTS 14M Search, or just Search, a bullpup style rifle which, while not all too customizable, only having space for a sight and a grip or a laser, it's still pretty statistically potent. It beats the fully upgraded QBZ by 2 damage points and works better at range by like a meter or 2. What else has happened? Like, the Persevet armor got a visual update for the Covenant, which is kinda cool. It even got this cute little animated trailer. There's been a lot of quality of life updates too, which is badass as fuck. Sorry to all the veterans who have been playing since 2022 or earlier, having to sell all their shit manually, dragging and clicking your items, rather than just having the move junk button. Now if only there was a move craftables button. I'm not gonna make any assumptions about Expo. I say this because with this Battle Pass's lack of content compared to the last two, and this ugly black screen that greets me every time I open it, this one feels kinda rushed, or like it lacks polish. The constant nerfs to rewards and shit definitely don't help. So much so, I've neglected actually completing the Battle Pass for this video. And to that you might say, oh, but mediocre, if you haven't completed the Battle Pass, how can you be so sure this video is accurate? And to that I say, shut up, stupid.